So I will admit I haven't watched Gilbert's show, Gil's Arena, but I'm told it's very popular, and I definitely have seen clips from the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Please like the video and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith altered the landscape of debate television by joining forces on Fast Take, but getting there was a years-long battle with ESPN. For years, Stephen Smith has openly credited and thanked Bayless for making him a full-time debate partner on Fast Take in the year 2012. Stephen A, though, has since modeled Fast Take into his own show by getting rid of Max Kellerman in 2021 and watching Bayless leave ESPN by his own will in 2016. But the thing is, Skip Bayless didn't just bring Stephen A to Fast Take, he helped him back to ESPN. Stephen A's first stint at ESPN ended in 2009. According to Skip Bayless, Fast Take ratings were already going through the roof during the 2011 Tebow season. At the time, ESPN was allowing Stephen A to make weekly appearances on Fast Take, but at the end of that season, Skip Bayless insisted on having Stephen A as a full-time debate partner on Fast Take.
I will get to the quote-unquote smear campaign against Shedeur Sanders. But first, I have to get this off my chest and out of my craw where it is stuck. First up, I have to talk about LeBron James and Gilbert Arenas and me. What? Okay. So I will admit I haven't watched Gilbert's show, Gil's Arena, but I'm told it's very popular, and I definitely have seen clips from the show, especially clips in which Gilbert is criticizing me for my criticism of LeBron and also criticizing me for the way I do my job. So instead of just firing back at Gilbert from a distance, I tried hard to get Gilbert to come on this show and discuss all of the above, all of these issues with me on this show. Now, I don't know Gilbert, but I went through 3 contacts I have. And I do know for a fact Gilbert got the request from me, but I never heard back from him. I even made it clear I was willing to appear on his show if that's what he wanted. Nothing back. So here I go. After LeBron passed 50,000 points, I posted a video applauding LeBron for his astonishing longevity. Gilbert responded on his show by saying, if I just opened my eyes, I would have seen LeBron's greatness from day one. Now, I also saw a clip of Gilbert saying, if I dared to criticize Michael Jordan back in the day, I would have lost my job. Huh? And in the same clip, Gilbert said, I was one of those writers who didn't really love basketball, but just wrote and talked about the NBA to make money. Huh? I'm sorry, I am not going to sit still for any of that utterly uninformed slander. You know, I guess in this digital universe we all live in now, this lawless, wild, wild west known as the internet, that any commentator can get away with saying any old thing, any old day, but this commentator will call you on it. I'm going to hold you accountable if nobody else will. And that means you, Gilbert Arenas. You did play basketball, pro basketball. But I'm not sure you know or understand pro basketball the way I do. I'll demonstrate. I started covering the NBA out here in Los Angeles for the LA Times back in 1977. I wrote about the Lakers because I badly wanted to write about the Lakers, not because I had to. Gilbert, you can ask anybody I've ever worked with for many, many, many years. I am obsessed with the NBA. I love basketball even more than I love football, and I'm better known for knowing and covering and commentating on the NFL. But in the sports media, Gilbert, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who has watched as much live basketball on TV as I have in my life. Heck, You might have a hard time finding anyone anywhere who has watched more live basketball on TV than I have in my life. I mean, I'll give you this. Coaches and execs watch way more tape than I do. I don't watch tape. But there's no way they watch as much live, televised NBA basketball as I do. Night after night after night after night. Ask my wife. And Gilbert, you're going to have to trust me on this one. Back in my days writing columns for the Chicago Tribune, my sports editor would have loved it if I had criticized Michael Jeffrey Jordan, because my sports editor welcomed against the grain commentary, especially against any Chicago icon. I wouldn't have gotten fired for criticizing Jordan. I might have gotten a raise. Seriously. Now, I did criticize Phil Jackson and especially Jerry Krause, but Michael Jordan? Hey, I just say what I see. I write what I saw, and I had never, ever seen anything like that man on a basketball court. I saw nothing but greatest ever. I saw 6-0 in the NBA Finals with 6 MVPs. I saw the mentally toughest competitor ever, the coldest-blooded basketball assassin ever. I saw the greatest clutch player ever in any sport ever. I mean, what was there to criticize, Gil? Michael definitely had his issues off the court, but none of that affected how he played, how he won, how he dominated physically and psychologically. I've been doing this for a long time, and I have never seen anything in any sport like Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Criticize him for what? For 20 years, I commented about LeBron James on national TV, and now I'm 6 months into critiquing him on this digital show and in all my videos that I post. I am here to tell you, this is what I believe, Gilbert. I have never been anything but fair and honest in my assessment of LeBron James. I said from day one, he was the best passer in basketball. I still say he's the best passer in the game today, year 22. From the start, I said he was the greatest driver of the basketball I had ever seen, including Jordan. I'm talking about LeBron being a bullet train of a freight train, born left-handed, shoots right-handed, able to attack just as devastatingly with either hand at the rim. And as time passed, it also became clear to me that he is the most durable superstar ever in any sport. I say it all the time. He is the longevity king. Yet, I do watch every LeBron game very closely. I've watched LeBron games very closely for 22 years straight. And Gilbert, it was clear to me from the very start that in late and close situations, LeBron almost always opted to pull up and attempt deep threes, downtown threes, instead of just attacking the basket, what he did greater than anybody. And slowly but surely it became painfully clear that, number one, LeBron was a pretty sorry, high-volume three-point shooter by superstar standards, and that, number two, he was just as bad at the free throw line, which is why he shied away from driving the ball late in tight games. He feared the late-game free throw line. Since LeBron came into this league, nobody has been worse in late and close games at the free throw line. Nobody. Statistically, I'll back it up for you. Nobody. I'm not making this up, Gilbert. I do my homework. I actually watch the games. I actually love watching the games. I'm addicted. I don't know if you remember this, Gil, but in the 2009 playoffs, I'm watching closely. LeBron's Cavs blew a 2-1 games lead, 2-1 up. That was against the Celtics by losing games 4, 5, and 6. And would you believe LeBron's owner, Dan Gilbert, soon accused him of quitting in that series? Can you imagine Jordan ever being accused of quitting, especially by an owner? It was also reported that LeBron had to be sedated before games 4, 5, and 6 that year because of an issue in the locker room with a teammate. Can you imagine Jordan ever needing to be sedated because he was having a problem with a teammate? Now, maybe that teammate would need to be sedated, or he'd need smelling salts, or he'd need a new team. But not Jordan, not that way. What? Then came that first finals with the Heat. Did you watch that, Gilbert? I don't know. Maybe you were on vacation by then because you were still playing. The chosen one, as he proclaimed himself, became the frozen one in games 4, 5, and 6 as the Heat blew a 2-1 lead. LeBron couldn't shoot. He averaged 5 turnovers a game for those 3. Not exactly Jordan-esque. Tell me I'm wrong, Gilbert. If Ray Allen hadn't hit the greatest clutch shot I have ever seen, LeBron would be 3-7 in the finals. 3-7. Do you remember how LeBron unraveled in the last 3 minutes of that game 6 in Miami? I was there. I'm watching closely. I remember because there were 3 unforced error turnovers by LeBron James in those final 3 minutes. Then he LeBricked the tying 3, only to be saved by Jesus Shuttlesworth. Boom. Tell me I'm wrong, Gilbert. If Kyrie Irving hadn't hit that shot in Game 7 at Oracle, LeBron well might be 2-8 in the finals. Tell me I'm wrong. And don't get me started on that Mickey Mouse championship that LeBron and company won in the bubble. But hey, I don't want to waste any more of your time. So let's just fast forward to the 2023 conference finals. LeBron's Lakers were right there, entering 4 straight fourth quarters against the soon-to-be championship Nuggets. And in those fourth quarters combined, those 4 fourth quarters combined, LeBron James, I'm not making this up, not exaggerating, shot 7 of 23 and 1 of 10 from 3. Oh. The Lakers lost all 4 games, including the closeout game 4 out here in LA, when in the final seconds, LeBron had 2 shots to tie and failed to get either shot up to the rim. Either one didn't hit the rim. Then last year in the first round of the playoffs, surely you were watching these games, Gilbert. Lakers at Denver. Here we win again. Game 1. And LeBron pouted and mostly refused to shoot in the fourth quarter of a very winnable game. I don't know, presumably because he'd taken so much criticism for his fourth quarter performances or lack thereof against Denver in the previous playoffs. I don't know what was going on, but it wasn't exactly goatish. Then in game 2 last year at Denver, in the final seconds, LeBron bleeping James wound up with a wide open 3 to tie, a virtual free throw from the 3-point line, and he missed it. Jordan makes that shot. Kobe makes that shot. Heck, you make that shot, Gilbert. Please tell me you saw that. Now, when LeBron was great against the Baby Thunder back in the 2012 finals, I raved about it. And when he was the greatest he's ever been in games 1, 2, and 3, without Kevin Love, without Kyrie, that was in the 2015 finals, I stood and applauded LeBron bleeping James. But yes, with Game 4 that year in his house with a chance to step on the Warriors' throats. LeBron was awful in that Game 4. He made only 5 of 10 free throws. Tell me you were watching. And here we went again. LeBron's team lost games 4, 5, and 6 as Andre Iguodala was the MVP. Please tell me you were watching that Game 4, Gilbert. I don't know. I know you got a lot going on. Maybe it just slipped your mind. But whatever. I would still love to share the air with you and go back and forth on all of the above. You can have all the time you need to make whatever case you want to make all your points just as I made all mine, and then I'll respond. I just like the ring of it. Let's do it. How about next week? I'm still waiting to hear back from you, Gil. And I must admit, I'm starting to wonder if you're as afraid of debating me about LeBron as he is of shooting late and close game free throws. Let me know, man. Okay. Now for a quick reflection.